Regent Honeyeater could be found in the north, in Rockhampton, down the coast as far as Adelaide. Today, however, as their numbers decline, this endangered species has confined itself to the forests of Victoria and New South Wales, most commonly found around the western slopes of the Great Dividing Range. They enjoy short, cold winters, warm summers, and climates where rainfall levels are normal throughout the year. The Regent Honeyeater's habitat consists of many eucalyptus trees in woodlands. It lives in blossoming trees and mistletoes. They provide canopy cover for the birds as well as plenty of mistletoe for nests. The Regent Honeyeater is a primary and secondary consumer, making it an omnivore. Its diet consists of nectar from many different eucalyptus trees, occasionally fruit, and the rare time when they will eat seeds or sap. They also tend to feed on insects, especially when they're young. The Regent Honeyeater's role in the ecosystem is that it acts as a pollinator for many flowering plants, and without them, many of the native trees throughout Victoria and New South Wales wouldn't be able to reproduce, as the nectar is not being moved onto an offspring. If the Regent Honeyeater became extinct, food chains and food webs would begin to become corrupt. Many nectar plants which rely on this bird to pollinate them would start to decrease in number as they cannot reproduce. There would also be an increase of bees as the competition for nectar and pollination would be gone. Insect populations would also rise slightly, as even though there are still other animals feeding on the insects, they will lose a primary predator. Also, the larger birds which once fed on this animal will turn to other birds, resulting in more fighting and possibly another endangered species. The honeyeater has become an endangered species due to many factors. One of the largest threats to the Regent Honeyeater is its destruction of ironbark forests, the most preferred tree in their habitat, for new farms and crops. Due to expanding agriculture, 85% of box ironbark woodlands have been cleared. To put this in perspective, there was once over 1 million hectares of ironbox woodland during European arrival, but today there is only 25% of the original coverage. Another threat is livestock from the new farming cultures. Livestock feed on the common food that honeyeaters eat, and they destroy the fertile soils, meaning new trees find it difficult to grow. This grazing also prevents the native vegetation from regrowing. One of the only natural threats to the Regent Honeyeater are their larger predators. Birds such as the noisy miner fight and kill the Regent Honeyeater, decreasing population numbers. Taronga Zoo is leading the fight to save the Regent Honeyeater through special breeding programs and by replanting their preferred tree in a government-protected area. Taronga Zoo has several successful breeding programs. Over the last few years, they have bred and released almost 200 Regent Honeyeaters into the wild. Taronga Zoo is also working to rebuild a habitat in Kapiti Valley, planting ironbox plants and trees, restoring the natural habitat. Also, many other government organisations and non-profitable organisations are working together to protect the very low remaining population and the natural resources that are crucial to its survival. The Regent Honeyeater, Australia's most endangered bird, is on the critical list, and if it becomes extinct, we could see a large decline in many native plants. The threats it faces place its survival underneath extreme pressure, but with the work of different organisations, there is hope for this beautiful bird. We must take care of it, otherwise we may not see another one in the wild.
Created using Powtoon.